So, get this. On February 5th, 2026, Anthropic just dropped a major update to its AI lineup. We're talking about a brand new flagship model called Claude Opus 4.6. So in this explainer, we're going to break it all down for you. What's new, what's so powerful, and what it really means for all of us.
And right out of the gate, the claims they're making, they are huge. We're not just talking about a little tweak here. Anthropic is positioning Opus 4.6 as the new state-of-the-art, the new top dog, and it's already setting some crazy records. But you know, with any big announcement like this, you gotta be a little skeptical, right? The hype is always a mile high, but does the performance actually live up to it? So, that's the big question we're digging into today. Is this thing the real deal? Is it a genuine leap forward? All right, to answer that, we've got to look at the numbers. Let's get into the hard evidence and see how Opus 4.6 really stacks up against the competition where it counts. Okay, look at this. This is where things get really interesting. We're talking about sheer dominance here. This chart uses an ELO rating system, like they use for chess players, to measure how well these models do complex work in things like finance and law. And that massive bar for Opus 4.6, that's a 144-point lead over its biggest rival. A lead that big means it's expected to win something like 70% of the time. I mean, that's not just winning a race. That's like showing up in a supercar when everyone else is on a bicycle. It's a whole different league. So this next number tackles one of the biggest, most annoying problems in AI: context. That 76% you see is its score on a brutal needle-in-a-haystack test. They basically hide one tiny fact in a document the size of a novel and ask the AI to find it. The last model, it only scored 18.5%. This new one, 76%. That is a gigantic leap. It basically means that problem where the AI forgets what you were talking about 5 minutes ago, yeah, that's pretty much on its way to being solved. And the key takeaway here is that this thing isn't a one-trick pony. Not at all. When you look at the whole scoreboard, Opus 4.6 is at the top of the charts for agentic coding, for complex reasoning, and even for those really tricky web search tasks. It's a massive upgrade across the board. Okay, so we've seen the what. Pretty impressive, right? But now let's pop the hood and look at the how. What's the secret sauce here? What are the technical upgrades that are making all this possible? All right, the big buzzword you're going to hear a lot is agentic skills. This is the heart of the whole upgrade. Think of it this way. We're moving from a simple tool that just answers questions to a true collaborator. You can give it a big, complicated goal, and it can figure out the steps, do the work, and even change its plan on the fly, all without you having to hold its hand. Let's break that down with a real-world example. Say you tell it to migrate a giant software code base. An AI with these agentic skills won't just blindly start typing code. No, first it breaks down the request. Then it plans out all the little subtasks, and it can even do some of them at the same time. But here's the kicker. It then reviews its own work, finds its own mistakes, and fixes them. It's basically thinking and working the way a senior engineer would. And to back up this new agentic brain, you've got a whole suite of powerful new features. There's that massive 1 million token context window we talked about. But there's also something called context compaction, which helps it summarize long chats to stay on track. Developers are also getting new controls to dial the model's thinking effort up or down. And on top of all that, you got major upgrades for using it in everyday tools like Excel and PowerPoint. Benchmarks and tech specs are one thing. But what does all this power actually feel like to use in the real world? Well, let's hear from some of the early partners who've been kicking the tires on this thing. Wow, this quote from SentinelOne really says it all. Like a senior engineer, that is a heavy statement. It's not just a coding helper anymore. It's acting like a strategic partner that can plan, adapt, and get these incredibly complex jobs done way, way faster. And hey, this isn't just for the super technical crowd. This quote from Notion shows the other side of it. For everyday work, for creative projects, the feeling is the same. It's moving from being just another tool to being, and I love this phrase, a capable collaborator that you can actually trust to get things done. And to really hammer the point home, check this out from Harvey, a company that builds AI for lawyers. Nailing a 90% score on a benchmark for complex legal reasoning, that just goes to show you the model's intelligence isn't a mile wide and an inch deep. No, it's got serious depth, performing at an expert level in these super specialized fields. So okay, we've established it's smarter, it's way more capable. But that always brings up a few really important questions, right? What about safety? What's it going to cost me? And how do I get my hands on it? Let's cover that now. Look, whenever an AI gets this powerful, the first question on everyone's mind is safety, and rightfully so. The good news is Anthropic says these huge intelligence gains don't come at the cost of safety.
It's just as safe as before, but it actually has the lowest rate of over-refusals. You know that annoying thing where an AI refuses to answer a perfectly normal, safe question? Yeah, it does that less. That's a huge quality of life improvement right there.
And here's maybe the best part of all. You can use it right now. It's already on the Claude website, available through the API, and our major cloud platforms. And get this, and this is a big deal for getting people to actually use it, they didn't raise the price. It costs exactly the same as the old model.
So let's just put a bow on this. You've got a massive leap in AI intelligence that's available today, it costs you the exact same amount of money, and it's safer than ever. I mean, that's pretty much the whole package right there.
At the end of the day, a tool this powerful is really about what we do with it. This kind of AI, one that acts more like a collaborator than a simple tool, it completely moves the goalposts for what we thought was possible. It's not just about asking better questions anymore. It's about setting more ambitious goals. So it really leaves us with one huge, exciting question. What are we going to build with it?